Okay. Yes, it works! I have somewhat fixed the stream. Hello everybody, welcome back. There was a little brief pause of connective problems. Let's see. Let's go back, resume, however you want to call it. What kind of hero are you? A hero who does what needs to be done, no matter the cost. Story number 13. Another level up. So, we stabbed ourselves in the end, and it broke the stone, and it melted, and his inner voice had lulled the gem back into complacency, giving him a window to act. In death, he was free. So, yeah. Alrighty then. Let's see. If the stream will scuff back at it again. Scuff back at it again. Yeah. Well. Is it working on your end? Or is it buffering or something? I would love to get through like more than one stream and there be no problems. It working?
Yeah.
Great. I got the okay, it's working. Alright, let's get possessed by the stone again and not kill Zenobia.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Bernardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster.
Okay.
Maybe.
So it looks like everything's working okay now.
To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also,
so now
his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course.
What was
Bernardo
I trying
had
to
a
say
pretty
before
strong
then?
suspicion that Lapino had
I wonder
betrayed
if the
the
creator
rebellion.
of the game
And he had
did
a
not
gut
like
feeling
ravens
that he needed to use that to his advantage.
at all. I know that some people will keep them as pets.
The island was
And it's cute because you'll see the
Every child
thank you for
could sing
joining the
verses
stream.
about the
Yes.
Sky River. But ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls. A ruby that drank blood. And were all...
and they're very cute to look at. You wouldn't think that these guys
What was
cause
he
so
doing
much
here?
trouble in the pack, but they do.
Last time, the stone had fought him for
And
possession
they're
of his
so
own soul.
smart. They really are. They'll pick up on things that so much faster than most other types of birds.
See? Any of the color looks good on you. The ravens were already here, cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. And he hadn't come too late.
Oh yeah, I wanted this one first.
This was way better than being able to shrink down to the size of an ant. What was that all about anyway?
Are you hating on Ant-Man? I've never actually seen the movie series, but I know there's... I remember this one meme where apparently Ant-Man was the guy who won the war with Thanos. I don't know what that entails per se. I am very behind on the Marvel movies. I'm afraid it's too late for me to even catch up. But I've heard so much stuff, and I've tried to keep it spoiler free on my end, but thank you for getting back on, 1-2. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate everyone else who managed to come back, or yeah, who were able to get back in. Oh. You couldn't let him go. You had to fry him to a crisp. Oh. Wait, if I go down the Sky Ripper route, do I get 2 Sky Rippers? I mean, technically I had 2 Iblis stones, even though that didn't really matter. I'm sure it didn't combine in power. Might as well. I'm not perfect health, so might as well.
Some way to use the Iblis stone. It was old, wasn't it? People are so much cleverer now. And Renato was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people.
I think this is the right way, correct? No, not quite. Oh, can't dash. I would love more dash energy. If nothing else, just so I just keep rushing through everything.
Get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
Dash, dash, dash. I haven't got used to where the actual buttons are on Xbox, because mostly I play the Switch or anything Nintendo related. So
these were no ordinary cannonballs. One thing, ordinary cannonballs were black.
So it is a little disconcerting when the B and the A are opposite directions, and so is the Y and X.
No light, like a void made.
I remember the first time I played like an actual Xbox game. I think there was music notes, and it had them in the XY AD, and I was doing well. Zooming.
That seemed tempting and terribly wrong.
I was zooming,
or not zooming. General,
I was doing the music notes.
And he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him.
I did the music notes, and I did so horribly wrong. I mean, if they were the right notes, I would have gotten really good on it.
His greatest weapon.
And I think that applies for like.
Said the stone anxiously.
For all the controllers, really, you just gotta get used to the buttons.
But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
Let's see. I think there's 2 more routes we can do with this. I think there is, like 2 more points. No yellow exclamation point road. I'm gonna try to get the one where I don't kill Zenobia and see if that's not a terrible ending. There's bad endings and terrible endings. I'm gonna see if that's not a terrible ending.
Below a black sun.
Was it the time of the lost gods before the transcendent emperor?
It would be nice if it told you if you had any additional endings down that path. But no.
He could feel the stone's hunger for souls.
You just
thirst
gotta
for blood.
guess.
All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting.
I thought, okay. A lot of people, I thought the fridge door opened by itself. Ah! This animated crows we can make fly.
The ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Reynardo. They screamed as the stone sucked out their souls. And with each death, he felt stronger. Take the power, the stone told him.
Let's see, go
He
down.
couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core.
I really
did he?
do think this is a shortcut. It does feel like a good shortcut. Whenever you have to drop down. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Like the underground theme. That's what I want to sing every time I go down these doors. The underground thing for the Mario. It was really cool when they did that for like the movie. And yes, I've seen the movie. It's I don't know who has it. That was a big achievement on Nintendo. They did a good job on it.
Zenobia was waiting for Reynardo. She was alone, confident as all.
I did not actually expect Chris Pratt
Impatient.
to do such a good Mario. I'm mostly used to seeing him do like Marvel and Jurassic World. You know, like a newer version of Alan. The Alan from the Jurassic World. I'm not being consistent here. Zoom! Zoom, 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 zoom! You're glowing this time.
Finally, Reynardo caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes... Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close.
There's your exclamation point.
Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be? Reynardo hesitated. Zenobia was his greatest enemy. She was the Emperor's daughter and his greatest general. And the single person Reynardo least wanted to remove from this world. Especially that way. She was holding her arms out before her, hands fluttering, fending him off with hopeless urgency. Nope. She was weaving a spell. He couldn't move.
This thing is evil, she said. She slid the Iblis stone out of its slot in his gauntlet
Ah,
and slipped it into a bag.
no.
Maybe we can learn from it.
She eyed him with a strange, wry, apologetic
No, I don't.
look.
I don't feel bad for
I
stabbing
missed you too. And before he could move
That doesn't
again,
help.
she was
That
gone.
really doesn't help.
Learn from the Iblis stone? What did that mean? Would she take it to the palace or to the observatory on the Nexus? If she thought it was evil, she wouldn't want it in the palace.
And, after all, it was evil, wasn't it?
Maybe I can outrace her to the observatory, thought Reynardo. Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer.
And what science is this based off of?
Reynardo felt a little sick. Ever since
wrong way.
Zenobia had taken the stone from him, he'd felt an ache that wouldn't go away. He missed it. He wanted it back. He needed it back. Why hadn't he killed her when he had the chance? She was the enemy. He hadn't even seen her in 14 years. Why had he hesitated?
Is that how long?
You were a sucker for an empowered woman. Reynardo kicked himself. Don't make that mistake again.
An empowered woman. Is that what we're going to call it? you just like someone that's technically smarter than you? There's nothing wrong with that. It just did occur to me that Lupino and Zenobia are both technically smarter than he is. In general, if he didn't have all these truths
Zenobia thought
hanging
the
around
stone
in
was
the book.
evil. Was it? Well, yes. But he still longed to have it back. He'd felt so good killing ravens with it. And yet, he'd felt unclean ever since he'd touched it. She confused him. She'd made him want to be a better fox. And then she'd abandoned him. Never telling him she was the Emperor's daughter. Never contacting him since. Well, who was she to tell him the stone was evil?
I don't like this. Why is it? How did that not hit? I'm getting better at this. Woo. Let's see if I can get through this without
He was a
getting
weapons
hit.
engineer. Renato would make the cannonballs go much faster. And fire randomly, obviously.
Ouch. Oh, so much for that plan. Extra crispy. Hey, stop. Oh. Go away. Hey, look, it's not on fire for once. This is a strange sight. I've never seen it not on fire.
The scientist's toes were pointing arcane instruments at the stone and looking at it through prisms and reflections. Mine, said Renato, at the stone. We need it for science, croaked the toads. So he killed them. He felt better immediately. Smarter, too. I thought you'd never come for me, whispered the stone. Then, a far-speaker toad croaked, and something like Zenobia's voice.
Renato, leave the stone with the toads. It will swallow your soul. You'll kill everyone you love.
That did seem vaguely familiar, but Renato had an army to lead, an empire to bring down.
Okay, I think this is technically our last option choices. And whatever goes, we'll continue on. They're both exclamation points.
Whispered the stone.
No.
It was right. Wasn't Zenobia the Emperor's greatest general? Wasn't Renato fighting for the rebellion? Of course she wouldn't want him to have it.
This is gonna be a Zenobia ending, isn't it?
Added the stone. You know what? I would, thought Renato. Or maybe he said it out loud. He would go see the council and lead their armies to victory. All he had to do was call them on the far speaker. Oh, damn. Well, wouldn't they be surprised anyway?
Wait, did he kill him? Did he kill this far speaker again? Again?
Ah, the ruins. Renato had come there as a kid when it was still the fabulous city of Ubar. Before the Emperor's ravens had come to pillage ancient books from its library and destroyed it. Now the rebel council lay hidden beneath the ruins. And between here and there, all these ravens to kill. They deserved it for what they'd done to the city. And the faster he could kill them, the more of a rush they gave him.
Okay. Smack, smack, smack. Smack, 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 smack.
He tried to be nice to Zenobia, not killing her and all. And what did she do? She stole the gem from him and made him kill all those scientists. Next time she'd see.
Smack, 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 smack. Right.
Whispered the stone. Renato knew how the stone felt. Each raven he killed gave him a little jolt of pleasure. But he could only kill them so fast, and the pleasure wore off too quickly. Hopefully soon he would face a more powerful adversary.
You're gonna fight her again.
Whispered the stone. But not with a bunch of mangy ravens.
Does that have the sacrifice works? For summoning, for whatever ritual, ritual that Mad King has in store, since he raised Zenobia to be so strong. For love. No, it's based on love, isn't it? That's why this Stone wants to kill her, but because she's, I mean, really powerful. Heal. I don't need to heal. I really, really don't. I really don't need to heal because the more I'll just activate my fire sword on these guys and it'll burn and then I'll heal Dan.
As he reached the secret entrance, he was shocked to see Zenobia talking with the council. She bore a white flag.
That's interesting.
Whispered the stone. What are you doing here, love? Bernardo demanded. Come for the brown muffins?
He's worried about you.
Croaked the council speaker.
We all are.
You're not yourself, Zenobia said. Before they could get into the rest of the intervention, he leapt at her. Unfortunately, the council speaker blocked him, so he slew her and the other council members. I'm not giving up, cried Zenobia as she darted off into the ruins. I think I just killed the entire rebel council, said Renato.
See how much power they've given you.
But they were on my side, weren't they?
No one is on your side. Except for me.
He set sail for the fleet. There, at least, there would be enemies to kill.
Now, at this point, is Zenobia trying to save him because she likes him, or is she trying to save him because she's afraid of him?
Unless that was the Iblastone talking. He could never be sure. Anyway, who needed other rebels here? They'd only get in the way. A true hero fights alone after he's got all his friends killed.
Yeah, we're off to kill Zenobia again.
Renato had a feeling that was the back door to something. But what?
I see, I got these big red chests lying all over the place now. I really don't need to heal. But I'll do it if it makes you feel better. How's that? There, see? Burn, birdie, burn.
The world was so beautiful. Everything was glowing, breathing, alive. Except, okay, the ravens he'd killed. But the wind was alive, like a million fingers caressing his hair. He'd never felt so powerful. He never felt so sexy. Somewhere down the path would be the Emperor. Renato would slay him, the most powerful man on earth. The Iblastone would give Renato all that power. He would be the Emperor. Then he would set everyone
and free.
It's just... You waited until I get up there. Oh. That works. Smack. Smack. Okay, I'm almost done with this one, and we'll probably take a 10-minute break afterwards. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I have to admit, I'm making some progress, but that's because we really didn't touch this area at the route before we unlocked the, true ending. I'll be heading to bed now. Hope the rest of the stream will go without hiccup. Alright, thank you so much for coming on, Montu. I really appreciate you coming, and I had fun. You have a good rest, or sleep, or night.
She was still
I don't know if you're gonna take a nap or sleep.
Excellent. Kill her, whispered the stone.
See this ending.
He raised his sword for the killing blow.
Is this what you really want? She asked. Or is it what the stone wants?
Think of the power, insisted the stone.
I don't want to kill you, he told Zenobia, his arm still raised. I know, but he could not put the sword down. It wants blood, he told her. I know. Oh, help me, he said. She stabbed herself.
Oh!
Take my blood, she said.
You mustn't,
Cried the Iblis stone.
oh no!
That's fine.
Did you? He ran to
Oh,
embrace her.
this is heartbreaking.
She plunged her bloody
Take
dagger
care.
into
Yes,
his
take
heart.
care. I'll be a
Why?
nap before I sleep,
He
then
said.
back to work early morning.
We'll be together.
It's
in
okay.
the halls
Our
of
names are a little
Foundation.
bit confusing, I have to admit.
I love you,
I'll respond to
he said.
Zuzuma if that's what you want.
Thank you. And the Iblis stone screamed,
Oh,
and then
I
it
literally
began to
missed this
glow.
entire
It burst
ending.
into flames. It burned like an ember.
And then it was ash that
Have a
blew
wonderful
away
night.
in the
Thanks.
wind. And Zenobia and Renato died in each other's arms.
Okay, so they killed each other. Says it Stone or Zenobia? Zenobia! 20 or something I cannot use. Yeet into the void. Yes. We are going to take a 10-minute break. Not a very long break this time. And let's see if we can get about maybe another ending. I'm hoping for at least 2 more endings. And I think I know one more is down this route, at least, the Iblis Stone. And then we'll try doing a little bit more with the Sky Ripper, if we can. Sky Ripper was a little bit weird. It did more for Zenobia and Lapino than it did for itself. So, 10-minute break. Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the break because we're getting straight back into it. Gonna try to do a few more endings before we call it.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer.
Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion, and he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Okay, Iblis route, one more.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper.
At least one more
But
that I know
ancient
about.
codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls. A ruby that drank blood. A jewel only a righteous man could give away.
Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple. Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now. Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals.
Ooh,
The Ravens were already here.
Cawing in frustration.
2,000
Still searching
points
for
that
a way
time.
in. Good. Then he hadn't come too late.
Alright. Nice to meet you. I'll play around with Ice Sword for a little bit.
Energy cannons. The last argument of kings.
Wait, did the ice neutralize the bombs? Nice. That's a really handy tip to learn. Or maybe it didn't. Or maybe I just got to him before. Maybe I was a witch.
There had to be some way to use the Iblis stone. It was old, wasn't it? People were so much cleverer now. And Renato was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people. That could come in handy in a pinch.
Yes. Smack, smack, smack. Not as good as that usually is.
The Ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
It's just usually faster if I just do it one at a time. Tank it! Tank it! That's why you have an ice sword.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made. It was the stone, eager, thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once.
And he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him.
Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. It's the core, said the stone anxiously.
But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
Okay, we'll go back to Zenobia and something up.
As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Renato had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun.
Was it the time of the lost gods before the transcendent Emperor? Was it the future? It whispered. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting.
Across here.
He
There we
knew
go.
the known knowns, and even some of the known unknowns. And he didn't know the unknown unknowns. You dig?
The ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Renato. They screamed.
Even I'm getting tired of some of this dialogue.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
Jump! Whoop! I'm full,
Give me a
don't need
lever,
it.
said Archimedes, and I shall open the gate.
Yeah, that's true.
Zen
Okay, we scared her. Zoom, 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 zoom. And... I'm surprised it didn't get hit.
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Please. No,
Okay,
said
skip.
Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be?
I think we did all with the kill Zenobia route.
Renato
I think we have one more to do
hesitated.
here. She takes the stone, gets it to the observatory, which is not on
Renato
fire
felt
for
a little
once.
sick. Ever since Zenobia had taken the stone
Or
from
twice.
him, he'd felt an ache that wouldn't go away. He missed it. He wanted it back. He needed it back. Why hadn't he killed her when he had the chance? She was the enemy. He hadn't even seen her in 14 years. Why had he hesitated? You're a sucker for an empowered woman. Renato kicked himself.
Don't make that mistake again.
Zenobia thought the stone was evil. Was it?
That went the
Well,
wrong way.
Yes, but he still...
He'd felt so good kill...
And yet, she... Well, who was she to tell him the stone was evil?
Okay, so we go up here.
And while he was trying to recover the stone Zenobia had taken from him, the Imperial fleet was tightening its grip. He might fail to save the rebellion, and it would all be her fault. Renato took a burst of outrage.
I mean, really, I shouldn't be screaming at this point.
She'd also
I've been
stolen his
taking
science.
these more than I have been trying to avoid them. And I missed.
It was supposed to be helping me, Renato thought. So
No.
unfair.
I preferred it when they missed. Just so I could say, hi, you missed. Pretty decent time. I might be able to have time to finish this one and one more, even if I get a really bad ending or a terrible ending.
The scientist's toes were pointing arcane instruments at the stone and looking at it through prisms and reflections.
Mine, said
I
Renato
do
as he
like
took
this.
back the stone.
We need it for science, croaked the toads.
So he killed them.
He felt better immediately. Smarter, too.
I thought you'd never come for me, whispered the stone.
Then, a far speaker toad croaked,
So,
something like Zenobia's voice.
Renato, leave the stone with the toads. It will swallow your soul. You'll kill everyone you love.
That did seem vaguely familiar, but Renato had an army to lead, an empire to bring down.
okay, so it's this top one, and then I think
I
we're
know you can
good.
fight this thing.
Zenobia continued in the far speaker's croak.
You let me live. You know how evil it is. It will destroy you, Renato. It will destroy everything you love.
He had tried to convince himself that this time he would control the Iblis stone. But he could feel his will becoming brittle.
She was right. He would get rid of it. Right?
Now. Or now. He didn't really want to. I know. I'll go to the mountains, Renato thought. I'll find the strength to do it in the peace and quiet there.
Not if the ravens keep attacking you.
As the Farfarer landed at the foot of the mountains, Renato was surprised to find Lapino there.
Lapino?
What are you doing here?
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I was stowed away on an Imperial courier ship, dressed up as a combat nurse carrying a general's beak transplant.
This is not a great time, said Renato, who was pretty sure he did not, in fact, believe Lapino's story.
I just
That's
realized
when you need
my
your
army
friends,
wasn't
Said
following.
Lapino. I just
Oh,
need some peace and
no.
quiet, said Renato. and
Wait, you
grimly
mean the
set out
following
on
in
the
this
path.
game or in another? Am I gonna get to kill Lapino again? That was so satisfying the first time. sure these are actually... Ooh! Ravens. Because ravens are supposed to be smart and these are not. Following this account. I just realized my army wasn't following this account. Oh. Well, that's fine. So the stream bugged out and we had to restart the stream. Yeah. Can't get through one game or one stream without some sort of... No, we did once. It was such a flawless stream. I was so happy. So of course it would happen like this. Let's see, it wasn't hard to get a little extra magic and help. I'm sorry, energy. Well, back to Lurky Lurk. Thank you for lurking.
Who leaves these chests everywhere? Wondered Renato. I should send him a thank you note.
Yeah, you probably should, because I mean, we wouldn't have gotten through this game without it.
Renato told his friend how he had slaughtered the toads and how he had nearly slain Zenobia.
A terrible burden, this Iblistone.
Sympathized the rabbit.
Am I
Yeah,
giving-
but I needed for the rebellion.
Do you now? You know, you were a pretty fine fighter before you were wielding a demonic decoration. Oddly, the sword wasn't whispering at him to kill Lupino.
Up ahead
Oh.
in the mountain, there was a peaceful spot. If he could rid himself of his burden anywhere, it was there.
I don't like where this is going. This may be like one of the endings that I need for Lupino. Nice. Style good. I always like doing a good style. No, 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 no. Oh. Oh, no, no. Acceptable. And I didn't really notice the style points until I was more concerned about getting... Oh.
Brilliant. Lovely. Hold up, hose.
Get all this stamina I want to get off. Am I going to the cabin? Honestly, I've played this so much. I think I've memorized the
Says me.
Good one.
Renato thought it would make a difference, snatching the Iblistone before the Emperor could get it. It would destroy him. Zenobia and Lupino, they were both trying to save him. Peace. That was what he needed.
No. Lupino, how did you get here before me?
So much for peace and quiet. There was Lupino. Again.
You're stronger than some dumb rock, Lupino said. Let's just bury it, and no one will ever find it again.
Renato could feel the spirit energy of all those dead ravens inside him, pecking away.
The rabbit was right. Even if the rabbit was a traitor, he was still right. He tore the Iblistone from his gauntlet and threw it into the hole Lupino had dug. Stone was silent. Probably sulking.
Now whoop those Imperials.
Yeah, I already know how this is gonna
I
end.
know I can't go with you. It's my old injury, you know. Recently, it's been acting up terrible. I'd be no use to you at all.
So Renato boarded the Farfarer alone.
I already know how this
Renato
is gonna
felt
end.
lonely on board the Farfarer. How could his old friend Lapino, miraculously escaped from the Empire, leave him to face the final battle
Here's
alone?
that sound again.
Well, he'd abandoned Lapino before, hadn't he? It was only fair. And of course he felt lonely. He'd given up the Iblis stone and all the souls he fed it. Of course he felt alone. But he had done the right thing. It had been hard to do, but there was no better feeling than that.
No.
Zenobia would be so proud of him.
Zenobia will call you a dum-dum.
The battle, alas, was not going well. He no longer had the stone, and he'd never gotten the core. Lapino wasn't with him, and he was up against Zenobia, out there somewhere, maneuvering the Emperor's forces. The rebels had been outnumbered from the start, and he still had that aching longing for the stone. But that is what it means to be a hero. He would fight his way to Zenobia. He would show her what he was capable of. Just him, with no diabolic accoutrements. He would win, no matter the odds.
Okay, gotta wait for the next one to pass. At least they're coming more frequent.
Yes, that was it. Pirouette, slash, parry, dodge. Renato had never done such good work in a fight. He wished the poets were along to sing of his exploits for his old age. Maybe he wouldn't have to kill Zenobia. Maybe he could defeat her and take her prisoner. Then he could turn the tide against the Emperor. But she wasn't Crown Princess. Once this was all over, she'd have more time for him, right?
I should have used the ice sword more in my final fight because it is clearly it was clearly doing more. But I was using my healing sword, that's right. That's why I couldn't use the ice sword. What fight? The final fight. The true hero path fight. The good ending. It was rough. You had hordes of enemies up on top of you. I had to re-equip myself with the shield breaker, and it made things a lot easier. Plus, I had memorized the enemy's positions
Soon he'd confront
from all
the
my
Emperor.
mini losses.
Funny that this whole war had come about because the Emperor feared death. And now it was coming for him. There was some sort of lesson there, wasn't there?
Woohoo!
By some miracle,
And yeah.
Renato fought his way to the Emperor's ship. He was exhausted, bleeding, but he'd found the strength to reject the stone. Zenobia came out of the ship. "Renato!" she shouted, and then she fell down and died. Lapino was behind her, wielding a sword that seemed
Yep.
to suck all the light out of the
Yeah,
sun.
I called
You
it.
idiot. You threw the stone away.
I called it.
Cried Lapino.
You said it was evil.
"It hates sanctimonious prigs like you," laughed Lapino. "We're having a grand old time." Renato turned and ran. But no matter where he ran, Lapino jumped in front of him until Renato was cornered. That boy could hop. "You wouldn't do this to an old friend, would you?" cried Renato. "You mean this?" said Lapino as he slid the sword into Renato's guts. "Damn it! Again!"
All I need is one more. So that was second, huh? Hero who doesn't need diabolic equipment to beat unsurmountable odds. Anyway, let's go. No time to waste. Let's hurry on. I think I want to go to Sky Ripper route again. Because I know I did most of the Iblis one. And I think I did most of the Lapino one. The Sky Ripper one was the little odd one. I was just kind of hopping over
the
it.
Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble.
I think I was
Ravens
doing
were
off
scouting
some of
for the
it, and then
secret
I
rebel
just...
base. They needed a game changer.
Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Bernardo knew
Yeah, I'll
that
go
using
Sky
it could go
Ripper.
catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Sky Ripper.
Every child knew.
Yeah, so let's skip on.
As he set foot on the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Renato felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper?
Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Well, I don't really remember much of this one. But I do remember that is, in fact, a shortcut. Usually anything with the dark sword is, in fact, a shortcut. Yes, you have to fight some enemies to get through it, but it's not nearly as much as you would go the other way. Sometimes it's just less than hassle.
That had been his mistake before. Thinking he could win a battle of wills with an ancient evil all by himself. He had to be cleverer than that. Or braver. Or something.
Okay, so it's making the comments about all the times I went down the Iblis route. Leave me alone. I'm gonna die. It'll be all my fault. Why? Oh, okay.
Hero wall. Hero sword. Firewall. Fire. Extinguisher.
Don't think too hard, man. Yeah, go after the ones that are more dangerous, buddy. Style, great. I had amazing style.
There it was. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway.
The device was how was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still.
Hey,
But
Jade!
fighting Zenobia now.
I did not realize you
That
were
made
there.
no
Thank you
sense
so
at all.
much.
He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature.
Oh, wait, you
was
can't
it?
hear anything?
He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Okay. Oh. Now, you were able to hear a thing, but I thought I'd say hi and support Zuzuma. Thank you so much, Jade. I really appreciate you coming by and saying hi. Makes me a little nervous when you say you can't hear anything because we've already had some technical difficulties. Wee. Thanks for showing up. Yes, thank you for showing up. And thank you for the lurk.
Renato asked him.
I noticed another. I don't think I went both ways. I don't think.
The
I
truth is, though, he wanted to see her, wasn't it? It had been a dozen years since Swordfu School.
And I'm
He'd
back here
followed
again.
Every rumor about her, every scrap of news. Not that he still loved her. After all, she was his enemy. No, it was solely because know your enemy.
All right, maybe he should stop pretending. He knew exactly how she felt about him. But their love affair always ended with a tragic death. Unless, maybe he could find a way to dodge tragedy. Surely he could. Couldn't he?
Good style. Yes, or great style. My bad. Thank you for showing up. Sound is perfect. Okay. Thanks for the reassurance there. Was a little bit nervous. Ice. Let's go with ice.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
So run. Come on, move. I mean, normally I take it, but that hasn't been working out so well for me. They really punish you for that.
Renato wasn't entirely sure how he was going to capture Zenobia. She'd be expecting him. And he didn't have Lapino to cook up a clever plan. Why was it again that he hadn't got the core?
Maybe because the results tended to be disastrous.
These streets were familiar. The Swordfu School was closed now, but he had been down that street 1,000 times. He knew that pub. He knew that alley. Renato slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all.
This is
Where were
the
her
second
guards?
choice.
Finally, he reached her bedroom.
That makes no sense. It's a trap.
Shouted the Emperor.
I'll meet you at the outpost, and I'll bring my interrogators.
If Renato came face to face with the Emperor, maybe he could assassinate him. But maybe it would be smarter and safer to turn Zenobia against her father.
Went both ways. I remember I did the assassination one once. I don't think I did it twice.
You're lying, she said.
I don't think I did it twice. I remember it's silly. She said lying. And then you
It was a
escaped.
short, safe landing. At
And
least this part of
he
the Nexus
escaped through
hadn't
the
changed too
toilet.
much. Zenobia had been taking him to the Imperial outpost. She'd never expect him to go there by himself. Well, maybe she would. You never knew with her.
ravens, though. That's the thing. It's weird. They don't fly. They're considered dumb. They are hungry, but like, it's weird. Or maybe I'm missing something really important about the ravens that I don't know about.
Stay there. I'll go get the marshmallows.
I remember that one stream where I got nothing but health, no magic. It was very disconcerting. So I
Renato
mean,
knew Zenobia, and Zenobia knew him. She'd suspected a trick. Now he'd vanished. She would probably guess that was his plan all along. Perfect. Maybe she wouldn't use the Sky Ripper. At least not without taking it to the scientists at the observatory first. Meanwhile, the Emperor would be coming to the outpost personally. This could be good.
it could be good or it could be bad, or I could waste my time. I don't know.
Renato was face to face with the Emperor's bodyguard. They looked very tough, but the Emperor held them back.
Oh, where's my daughter?
And how would I know that? Renato grinned at him.
She lured me here so that you could kill me, didn't she?
Ah, don't be ridiculous, said Renato, trying his best to sound convincing. She loves you.
Oh, I knew it. The rabbit told me I couldn't trust her.
The Emperor hopped out the door. His phalanx of bodyguards retreated carefully. Renato heard someone call, "Arrest her!" as they left. Well, that's a job well done, thought Renato. Now the fleet would be in all sorts of disarray. But maybe he could find her in the mountains. She always used to go to the mountains to hide from the world. Maybe he could even turn her against her father.
Or maybe he could reap the benefits of the chaos he had sown.
Okay, so I
It
still
was time
have
to
one
report to the
exclamation
rebel
mark.
council, and then launch the attack on a divided and very confused Imperial fleet.
Alright, the chaos, Sandy.
Renato felt very clever indeed. He told the Empire nothing but the truth. And now they suspected everything and
That is
everyone.
kind of clever.
So, why are you going to see Zenobia? He asked himself. It's not just a globe, is it? No, of course not. Now, turning her against her father was good. It was very good. If she would actually join the rebels, that would be spectacular, right? That was definitely what he was doing.
No, you're just lovesick.
He wondered if he should have just told her the truth about her father. The Emperor had adopted
She'll
her from
probably
a
stab
stray.
you.
That was the source of all her loyalty. But even then, he'd been dreaming of a bargain with the lost gods. They alone could make him immortal. The Emperor would have to seal that bargain with the life of someone who truly loved him. And who else truly loved the Emperor? But how could Renato tell her that now? Why would she ever believe him?
Find Zenobia before she gets arrested. I highly doubt that's what's going to happen. Okay. Let's see how fast we can get this done. please tell me I can get around here. Thank you. I probably should have gone for this chest. I probably should have. I can level up.
The funny thing was, she should have trusted him. He told her the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Oh, all right. The truth was, he'd played her like a fiddle. And how often had he ever done that? She was so smart. Smarter than him, really. Sometimes, at home, he'd wave his sword around for hours.
Is that because I missed so much? I can't skip this battle. That's like a couple minutes off I don't have to worry about. Zoom, zoom. Let's get this done. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Such a good decision to get all my stamina bar at least done up.
Renato had given away the location of the secret base. Fortunately, the Emperor thought it was all a trap. He even mistrusted his own daughter. Renato couldn't have done better if he'd planned it.
Okay, so we'll finish the dash. And then we can go on and do the power. You're
What
mad
have you
at
done
me.
to me? Zenobia demanded. My own father thinks I'm a traitor. So? But I'm loyal. So what? You're a bastard, Renato, she said. Now, you love that about me. You really did want the core, didn't you? And the Iblis stone. Yep. He gloated. You get all that? She said to the far speaker, told he'd failed to spot.
I am so relieved, my daughter.
Said the far speaker. And Zenobia got into her ship and flew off. Damn it. The old far speaker trick. How had he missed it? This was very bad. Zenobia back in her father's good graces, and both of them ready to use the core and the Iblis stone.
He got back on the Farfarer.
Briefly, Renato thought of fleeing. The odds were surely against him. Never tell me the odds, he told himself. Odds confused him. He preferred to trust his gut. And so he sailed on to attack the fleet. Alone, if necessary.
And how many times have you done that alone?
There were not many rebels here, and they were disorganized. The Empire had obviously attacked the secret base. The formerly secret base, whose location Renato had so helpfully pinpointed on a map. There was still time to turn around, wasn't there? But Renato hated turning around. Heroes don't turn around, they just own their screw-ups and turn them into impossible victories, right?
You're not gonna win, buddy. I hate to bring it to you, but you're not gonna win.
There it was again. The back door to the portal that went to the center of the fleet.
Just because I like using this portal.
The odd thing was, Renato's personal battle was going fairly well. The Ravens immediately in front of him were no quicker or tougher than usual. Where was the power of the core? Blasting him off into the abyss. And where was Zenobia? She must be up to something. But whatever it was, it wasn't his problem. Not yet, anyway. It was all going surprisingly well.
That was terrible. I won, but that was terrible. Much better. Oh! Too soon. And almost there.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Again. This time, he'd make an end of him. He'd screwed up last time, but he had a good feeling about this time.
But you're not gonna give me points for that?
At last, he came to Zenobia and the Emperor. She was sealing up a kind of squat coffin, banded with lead.
So glad you're here.
Croaked the Emperor.
You will be witness to my final victory.
That's creepy, Dad, said Zenobia. But thank you. Because of your shenanigans, we tested the core. It's really unstable. It could have blown us all up.
It could, said Renato, a little frustrated that she'd figured it out.
Anyway, we already destroyed your secret base, so we don't need a super weapon. We're just going to bury it. Do we, torture you? Or give you a medal? Sometime later, Renato got an invitation to attend the Emperor's ritual sacrifice of his daughter. They took him out of his dungeon cell and gave him all his medals to wear.
Aww.
A little while after that, the lost gods returned, and the sun went blank, and the Emperor ate his soul.
Ugh. That was the stupid ending. And we got all the Zenobia endings. How I learned to stop worrying and start loving chaos. What kind of hero are you? A hero who doesn't turn back even after screwing up everything. That seems appropriate. And doesn't really change much other than the fact that we got all so we got all the Zenobia endings. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I feel pretty good about that. So we're gonna call it end to the stream. We probably won't be doing stories next stream. I guess we all need a little bit of a break from this. And when we get back to it, I'll have more of an idea of how to get to the last endings. I'm not going to look up exactly how they end, just how to get there. Save some time and effort. Well, anyways, thank you for joining me with this stream. We've unlocked quite a few endings. Got some pretty terrible endings. But got some other endings unlocked. There's no good way to say that. There really isn't. Next time, we're going to be playing a new game. I don't know what that game is exactly. But I'll let you guys know. I need to do better about communicating when I'm going to stream and what I'm going to stream. So thank you all for coming. Bye.